Hey everyone. On March 9th, I'm going to be answering the question, do men need feminism? If you're in the Vancouver area, check out the link below. But today, I'm going to answer the question, why do women lie about rape? Hi, I'm Diana Davison. First of all, I'm going to address the myth that women would never lie about rape. You know, because it's such an emotionally brutal process to file a rape report, reliving all that trauma. Of course, when they're lying, there's no actual trauma to relive because it didn't happen. Hence, no trauma. Now, sexual assault activists demand, why would a woman lie? They want to know the motive. And yet when you explain the motive, they scream,
United States of America.
Any reason you give, well, that's a rape myth. And they must re-educate you. No more, I say. The time has arrived. The time to educate these crazy activists and ideologues who scream,
For the first time ever,
every time a woman is caught lying about rape. Now, the wonderful Dutch people, aside from the invention of wooden shoes, have done 3 important studies on false allegations of rape. And I'm going to talk about the third one. Published on February 17th of this year, it's a study on the motives behind known false alligators. That's women who make false allegations. Alligators. Make it happen, people. So here are the motives identified in the study by Dutch women themselves. A quick screenshot of the numbers. The study is small sample size because their criteria for knowing it was a false accusation is quite stringent. On the left are the core categories: material gain, emotional gain, disturbed mental state. That is not actually mental illness, it's a mental state of having a vivid sexual fantasy that they decide is real. The most common guess on why women lie about rape is money or attention, but money is actually really low on the motivation chart. The researchers break the emotional gain down on the right side to better understand the specific types of emotional gain as categories on their own. So the quick list from the most common to the least goes like this. Let's have our dancing Dutch girls entertain us while we read the top 10 list of why women lie about rape. Number 1, alibi. Number 2, she actually doesn't know. 3, attention. 4, revenge. 5, sympathy. 6, regret. 7, relabeling. 8, mental disorder. 9, material gain. And 10, disturbed mental state. Now I'll give you some examples. I want to talk about number 7, relabeling, and look at Lindsay Sweeten of Arkansas. She's a recent case where this happened. Now, relabeling is when people around a woman insist that what happened to her was sexual assault, so she reports it instead of arguing with them. This is interesting because activists are relabeling all kinds of negative sexual encounters as rape, and they're actually convincing women that they've been raped when the women know that they weren't. Here's Lindsay's case. On March 11th, this is actually 2015, Detective Josh Bowen interviewed Sweeten again at UAPD. Detective Bowen asked Sweeten if she was telling the truth about the incident, and she said no. When asked why she would lie, Sweeten said she did see a man that matched the description she gave on Dixon Street, and he scared her. But that the man never followed her into the Harmon deck. That's where she said that she was assaulted. Sweeten told Detective Bowen that she texted her boyfriend about seeing a man that scared her, and that her boyfriend made a suggestion that something more might have happened, and then the boyfriend told Sweeten's brother. Police say Sweeten said the story just got worse from there, and she continued to go along with it because she didn't know what else to do. Now, another common relabeling would be, say, dad doesn't like the guy that his daughter's dating, and finds out they're having sex, so it's relabeled, and the girl ends up saying that she was raped in order to please a parent. This is also a large group of the unfounded police reports that have been in the media lately. A third party reports it, and the supposed victim won't confirm, or, if they do, quickly retracts. So all of those people screaming about the high rates of unfounded rape complaints with police, you don't know what you're talking about. Here's a case of sympathy. Nikki Avino. She's all over the news right now, and her case is interesting because, like the fake Rolling Stone Jackie victim, the rape claim was to try and get another boy interested in her. Nikki had sex with 2 guys at a party, then claimed she was raped to gain sympathy from a 3rd guy, the one she was really interested in. In Jackie's case, the Rolling Stone hoax, she tried telling the guy she really liked that she was terminally ill first, because, that'll turn on a young man. When that didn't work, Jackie and Nikki both thought that their target's white knight reflex would cause them to rush to their side for support if they told him that they were raped. This is what happens when makeup and high heels and a good push-up bra isn't enough. How about trying a really good personality, Ever think of that one? And now, for something completely different. Alright, I'm going to take a recent false accuser named Mandi Gray, who's become a bit of a professional victim, and we'll look at her motives for a couple of reasons. 1, she asked in court, why would I waste 2 years of my life? And 2, because I've identified 4 motives for her to do so. Revenge. The accused, Mustafa Orarar, had just broken up with Mandi. They had consolation sex, and he says when he woke up in the morning she was standing at the end of his bed with her parka on, glaring at him. Then she turned and left. Sorry, that was kind of freaky. Attention! Mandi is an activist who's trying to revolutionize sexual assault laws and university policy. These are some of her recent tweets. She wants to eliminate the police from sexual assault investigations. I guess we can use the word investigation kinda loosely here. By that I mean she wants to remove the investigation part. Mandi also called for and gave an exclusive interview to the CBC shortly after the charges were laid. Obviously, she organized this interview herself. The article was published March 3rd of 2015, and here's the timeline. Monday, February 2nd, Gray reported the alleged assault to the Toronto Police Service. He's arrested and released on bail February 15th. By February 20th, Mandi expects that she'll have him successfully banned from campus completely. By month's end, she wants him deported from the country. By year's end, fired into outer space. Instead, she gets a meeting with York's safety manager. Mandi invited her program director and the director's assistant to attend the meeting with her. She also invited her union manager, telling the journalist that York University expected me to go meet with a man alone in an office after I've just been sexually assaulted by somebody that I trusted. Well, that all sounds interesting, except the reason Mustafa was charged at all was because Mandi Gray bullied the male police officer into laying charges over a week earlier. Yes, she demanded the police press charges. So, what about material gain? What could Mandi possibly gain from all of this? It's actually rare to see so many motives all in one place. Mandi has made a full career of this event. She made a documentary about rape, and here she is on Twitter asking for more money. She also asked for money from York University through the Human Rights Tribunal. She also asked for the accused to pay her lawyer fees in a criminal trial. She says she and her lawyer have a surprise, and I expect she's going to announce she's starting a civil suit against Mustafa after his appeal is heard. It's also my understanding that Mandi has demanded York University hire her to run their brand new sexual assault policy center. Hopefully they're smarter than that. But this leads me to alibi. I've added alibi to the list of reasons for Mandi Gray because, though I don't know what her grades were at the time this all went down and if she maybe needed an excuse for getting out of bad grades, but she recently tweeted that she's putting off finishing her PhD. Although she could do that, she's putting it off to fight the patriarchy. I actually think she wants to stay at York as long as she can so that she can continue to install her sexual assault policy ideas as a student there, and her rape story is the best way to get away with not graduating in a reasonable time frame. Why am I so sure that Mandi lied? Well, the wonderful Dutch people, aside from being excellent dancers, also studied how to recognize false allegations. I'll talk about that soon, The problem is that I don't want to help these assholes make their lives better, but I do want to help the police to recognize the lies. What we need first, though, is to get the police to actually care. Mandi's victim, Mustafa Orarar, will have his appeal heard on March 14th of this year, and this is not a question of if the judge erred, it's a question of how did justice err? Let me count the ways. I'm voting for the grounds that it was unreasonable, irrational, and at times impossible to follow. Meanwhile, stay safe, stay well, and remember, men have regretted drunk sex longer than women. That's where we get the phrase, coyote ugly.
Shut the fuck up!